Sooner or later, every investor comes to a point when they have to close a trade. It comes down to two simple things. Are you closing this trade for a profit, which a lot of new investors seem to have problems with, or are you closing it for a loss? Either way, we are going to talk about a very simple process on how you can increase your chances of reaching financial freedom and also having the conviction on how to close a trade correctly. In this video, I'm going to give you the exact process that I use, a very simple method on how I close out of any investment position. It's a very simple process that every novice and new investor could also adopt to make sure that you do not get greedy and think, if I sell today, the stock will go higher, or even the inverse, if I sell now for a loss, what if the stock goes higher as well and I could have locked in crazy amounts of profit? This is the mindset of not just novice investors, but every investor worldwide. Now look, we have a lot to cover, so if you could save me time, make sure that like button is turned blue. It would greatly help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Let's see if we can push this channel to 20,000 subscribers at some point in the next 10 years. So please do help me out, make sure that like button is turned blue. And as always, if you want to get lifetime access to our chat room, all you've got to do is sign up with the pinned comment down in the comment section, deposit, make a trade on eToro, and you do get lifetime access to the LWT eToro chat room. Now moving on, when should you sell a stock? Well, there's something we need to establish right off the bat. So coming out right out the gates, there's some things we need to address. If you're a new investor, you might not have experienced this yet, but at some point you will in both scenarios. One is you're green on a trade and you should lock in gains. You're up 100+% in your trade, you're looking at selling it, but you are having a bit of FOMO because what if the stock continues going higher and you miss out on some extra readies? The other version is you're down on a trade, you're losing like say 50%, and you are worried that the stock rebounds tomorrow after you sell and you don't lose as much money. Both scenarios, there is a key thing: FOMO, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, but also show you how you can just ignore FOMO and trade a little bit more successfully on how to close out your position. So in both positions, it is the exact same process that I go through, but right out of the bat, saving you a little bit of time here. If you don't want to go through this same process, I have a simple methodology. If in doubt, sell half of your position or a third. I always use this mentality. If I am in any of them positions I just mentioned, I'm down 50% and I'm fearful it's going to go down further, I always take half off the table. If I'm green on a trade, up 100+%, and I'm fearful it's going to go higher if I sell my position, then I sell half or a third in that case as well. No one went poor from locking in gains. Embed that into your head. And if you do sell at a loss, that's fine, because if the company is down so much, there's a good probability the company is going to continue going down. And that leads me on to what the process I have here is. And what that process is, nothing new. It's something you should have done initially, and if you didn't, don't worry about it. We can go through it here. Let's start with a red trade. You're down, you're losing, and you're worried it's going to go down, but you don't want to sell and realize that loss. What should you do? Well, the method I tend to do, and I do this, I sold VW for a loss recently, is I look at the stock and I just try and think with a very clear head here. And it's very important because you're already emotionally invested when you have a stock. You have to think about it this way. What I always try and think of is, with my parents or a loved one or a friend or something like that, would you recommend them to buy at the price? Right? And what I mean by that is, let's say you bought like Alibaba. Let's use Alibaba as an example. I've been buying Alibaba for a while and the stock price has been falling. What's changed? Well, a lot of things have changed, but I still feel Alibaba at some point will go up. And that's because pretty much every day or every week, I'm going through my intrinsic value calculation. I'm looking at the fundamentals. I'm looking at their earnings reports, and I'm still bullish. But if Alibaba was, say, Lordstown Motors, or a company that I bought the hype train or something like that, or something's fundamentally changed in the company. VW is a good example. I sort of did buy a bit of hype on VW that I thought they were going to overtake Tesla, and I still think that's possible. I still think that will happen actually, but I think the profit margins were a little bit more exaggerated than what I expected, what I thought. So I reassessed the company. And what I decide, and what you should do as well, is would you buy the company now at this price? The company's fell 50%. If you don't hold a position, I mean, would you buy it now at this price? Go away and re-look at it with fresh eyes and think, not about lowering your average, because if you buy the company on the way down, this obviously will, make your sort of percentage loss look a lot less, but that's not the key here. The key here is, if you didn't hold any skin in the game, would you recommend this to a loved one? Would you buy the company now? And if the answer is still yes, then maybe it's worth increasing your share size in. If the answer is no, you wouldn't buy into it at this price because some new news has come out or the fundamentals are not as good as you thought, like I did with VW, then it's probably time to think about cutting that position. And again, that's something that comes down to you. A lot of people make the mistakes, me included, of buying companies, listening to the hype sometimes, listening to the news, buying into earnings reports, buying into CEO conference calls, like I did with VW, literally. And and it's hard to look at it with fresh eyes. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and lock in that loss. And that doesn't mean you're a losing trader. Actually, I think if you can realize losses in the right sense, you've got a better chance of becoming a successful investor than locking in gains. But God forbid, do not have the thinking when you're down on a trade, thinking, well, hopefully this stock will recover and I'll break even. That is the biggest mistake I see investors do when they buy into something and think, I'm down 50%, 60%, maybe it'll go up someday, and I'll just wait for that day to come. That day rarely comes, I promise you. And the other thing, humans are the greediest on this planet. While you're waiting there in losses and fearing pain, when that stock does slowly recover, I can pretty much guarantee you not one person watching this video will sell for a break-even point. You'll get greedy and you'll pray to the gods that it goes up and you make some money because you've sat waiting for sometimes years for that to happen. If you don't believe me, look at Cisco, a company that was one of the biggest tech companies in a tech crash and still has not fully recovered from that price. And Cisco is a bloody big company. So simply put, would you buy the stock in a fresh trade with fresh eyes? Would you recommend it to a loved one and tell them to invest their money into it? If the answer is no, it's probably a sell. If the answer is yes, reassess the situation, maybe buy more. Now, before we move on to the second thing, which is selling for a profit. When do you sell a stock for a profit? And selling at this point should be fun and a relatively pain-free ride. But trust me, it's not that easy. But before we get into it, there is 1 or 2 spaces opened up on Patreon. So if you want to sign up on Patreon, get access to our WhatsApp group or anything like that, check out Patreon down in the description. But swiftly moving on, selling for a profit. The one that everybody wants, locking in gains and finding the next decent trade. Not that easy. And if you're watching this video, you're probably sat there thinking, in fact, I know it from the chat room, we have many people come in and say, should I sell this stock? I'm up 80%, 90%. And no, you shouldn't. You should go through the exact same process. What people tend to do here is they're up 50%, 80%, whatever, and they think it can go up another 50 or 80%. I'll just hold it. The gravy train's going to continue, and everything has to end. Everything in life, everything in the stock market especially, will shock you and come down and take advantage of those greedy investors. Do not be that greedy investor and do the exact same thing. If you think a stock is up 50%, let's say you buy BP, another company I'm currently hold, and I'm very green on it, but I'm not buying any more. Why? Because I think BP is not really a discounted stock right now, or not heavily discounted. I've got a very good average, I'm very green on it, and I am thinking of locking in gains if we go even higher, but I'm not buying more. And that's the key thing here. If you think you're up 50% on a stock, right? You buy a stock at $100, it goes to $150, and you're sat there thinking, should I lock in gains? That's the wrong mentality. You should be thinking, should I be buying more? If the answer is buying more, then you should probably hold it. If the answer is no, I wouldn't buy it at this crazy price, you should probably start looking in gains. It's that simple. Go through the same process, the same aspects. Why is it up? Will there be new news? For example, look at NIO, a Chinese EV company. If you look at NIO, it's gone up crazy amounts. People think it's going to go higher. It's going up on crazy news, battery swap technology, driverless cars, taxis, all this lovely stuff. But eventually, that news, that level of news will slow down. So when that slows down, what happens? There isn't any new news pumping this company, and their revenues are not growing as fast as people would like. They're not delivering anywhere near the amount of cars. So that's another example of, if you did get NIO and you made good money on it, fair play to you, but now might be the time to start looking at locking in some gains, unless you think it's a good buy at its current price. And if that's the case, then maybe you should buy more. That's the simple aspect here. You should be selling a stock in both scenarios if you think you wouldn't buy more or you would buy more. It's a weird mentality to go through, but that's exactly how I do it. If I am looking at locking in gains, Cineworld's a great example. I bought Cineworld, literally the lowest entry I had was at 19p a share. I sold it, I think it was at £1.08 or something like that. Majority of it, still got some shares that are a free ride, and people are buying it still today. And I said, you're absolutely mental. You're absolutely crazy buying this stock at these elevated prices. I think you're absolutely bonkers. And that's the difference. I'm not buying more. I locked in gains. I locked in some gains. I still have a free ride on it. I've still got some shares. But the point is I looked at it thinking, should I lock in profits? I did think at one point, I was up 400% or 300%. And I did think at one point, this could go up 600%. I think it still could. But nonetheless, I wouldn't buy more. So I sold half, or a third or whatever it was. Locked in like 140% or something ridiculous. The rest is a free ride. That's what I did. I wouldn't buy more of the stock at that price. Therefore, it's a sign that I should be locking in gains. But this is the thing. A lot of people, including myself, at that point would look at it and say, if I sell today, what happens if Cineworld goes up another 50%? It goes up another 20%. And to be honest, I think it did at one point. And I was sort of kicking myself. I could have made an extra $5,000, something like that, which would be great. But then a couple of weeks later, the lockdown fears, Delta variant, stuff like that, Cineworld crapped its pants. And now I look like a legend in that community. I don't, because people call me paper hands, but in my head, I look like a legend for simply just locking in gains. It's the hardest thing in the world. I think locking in gains is actually maybe harder than selling for a loss. So the thing I know it's a long-winded video, and I'm sorry for that, but the point I want to get to you is, a lot of people ask, when should you sell a stock? And it's the inverse. You should actually sell a stock when you wouldn't buy the stock. That's the way you should be looking at it, in my opinion, especially if you're a new investor. And it's very easy to do. If you wouldn't buy the stock at that price, it's probably time to move on. And there's always players out there. I've got a video, the video will already be out, where I pick 3 random stocks. Go and check it out up there, where I talk about 3 stocks and I did invest in one. It's that easy. This is the process I use. So if you're interested in that, go and check it out. That's it from me. Comment the code word down below, sell, sell, sell. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. God bless. Peace.